Welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at data distributions. That's just a fancy way of saying how the data looks. Do you know what kind of data display these are? Oh, I guess it says it right here, histograms. These are all histograms, showing down here the household income in the United States in 2007. This is approximate. So here we have percentage of households. So 7% are here, 12% are here, and so on. So that's kind of interesting to see where the percentage of households are for each income. Then we have histogram 2, a distribution of household income in a hypothetical country A and country B. So these three terms are all applied to these distributions. If we think of a normal distribution or a bell curve, you've probably seen that before. It looks mounded like this. It's symmetric. In other words, this side is similar to this side, and we've got most of the data in the middle with some down low and some here. So you might call this normal. It's close to normal, I would say. But if that's the case, then when we look here at this graph, do you see that normal shape happens about right here? Let me just kind of draw it in. Not quite, but we have somewhat of a normal shape curve there. Well, these people up here are pulling this data to the right. Remember what I talked about earlier? Let's just say for hypothetically that this is the median. Where would you expect the mean to be? You might not know exactly, but it's going to be to the right, because these people out here are going to, when we even out their megabucks, 250,000 a year, at least to me that's megabucks, maybe not to you, it's going to really pull the mean up, but it's not going to affect the median as much. And so this one we say is skewed to the right. You can imagine what skewed to the left would look like. That would have kind of our normal curve here, but instead of ending like we would expect, it's going to come out skewed to the left. Sometimes you'll hear this called negatively skewed, thinking of an XY axis where we have to the right positive numbers and to the left negative numbers. And then this would be positively. So that's one term I wanted to explain. The next term is bimodal. So you've heard of a mode, right? If I asked you on histogram 2 where the mode is, you would probably say right here. Okay? And you're right, the mode is going to be in this range somewhere. But you see we have another kind of, I hate to call it a mode, because you would say, well, there's more data over here, and you're right, this data here is higher than this data, there's more here. But this is a mode in this area, I guess, is what we'll say. And so this is called bimodal, because there are two modes, so to speak. And this last one's symmetric, which I've kind of talked about a little bit, where we have similar graph on the left and the right. Okay, you could see, well, it's not quite perfect, but that's the idea. So let me ask you, if you had the choice, which country would you like to live in? Would you rather live in this country, or this country? And your income in these countries is randomly assigned, so you just get a random chance. Pause the video, think about it for a second. I really think you could make an argument for any of the three. So you could say, I would like to live in the U.S. We're all kind of together in this. We do have some rich folks. We have some that are really poor, but not too poor. I mean, there's only 7% of the people who are here and 12% here. And so most everybody is kind of in the same boat. So I like that. You could make a similar argument for country B and say, well, we're all in this together. There's a few poor people, a few rich people, so we're better than them. They have more poor people. That would be an argument for living here. Here you could say, well, there's a higher chance of being wealthy in this country. But then you could also say, well, you have the really rich and the really poor, and so there's a lot of inequity here, or inequality. So any of those are good arguments, and you could have other arguments as well.